community. I can agree Channel 7 does speak about positive stories. Last summer I had called just about a positive story that went on in my community. I'm from the East New York community. So my question is, how can I assure that, how do you go about picking the stories, the positive stories within the community that you guys tell? Is it a group-based, a team-based decision, or is there one person in charge of picking I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, we don't, a lot of times we don't go by the positive story, you know, whether it's that day. We, in the mornings, when we get ready to decide what we're working on that day, we have a big meeting, the morning meeting. And we lay out all the things that are out there that day that we need to talk about. Some people bring ideas, or things that have come up in newspapers, things we've been talking about, like from this meeting, for example. There are several stories I have a feeling that we'll discuss in the morning. And then it's sort of a group decision about how things, you know, what stories get covered that day. And some stories are what we call evergreen, meaning if it's a good story, say the Audubon story, for example. Like, we'd like to get that on immediately, but maybe something happens tomorrow and we can't do it. But it's a story, I think, that if we do it the next day, it's still going to have the impact. I think it's a group decision. It starts, and she's the boss, so it starts at the top there, but she's got some of our managers here. We decided they're the people that do the shows. Then they talk about what will work well in a certain show. And then sometimes we do stories, we'll do them a day they don't fit that day. Maybe they run the next day, or they run in a show that's more appropriate. So that's, you know, we don't just kick a story out, you know, it didn't run that day, so we're not going to do it. But it's a group decision, and because we all have different ideas, we all live in different neighborhoods, we all have a sense of, you know, David has kids, I don't, so something that might be, he sees as important, I don't quite see it because I don't have children, so I haven't had the experience. But, you know, what was the story that you called about it?
There was a woman within my community, and she just does a lot. She does like different bands. Like, she's grew up from East New York, where there's not a lot of people that are doing things for youth. We also don't really have many community buildings or facilities within East New York. So she does different things, like she puts on different bands for the kids. She does different every single year and every single summer. She paints the whole entire block of like different murals and different games, and people from all over the community, different daycares, different people on the streets, they all come out, and you know, we have what's called the play street on our block. So when she was in charge of doing that, so she's just kind of a community activist that is trying to implement positive things in a community where there's not a lot of things shown. And I thought it was a great positive thing that, you know, in East New York where you see so much crime, a person actually trying to benefit the community.
You know the way you just pitched that story? That's what you did. You pitched that story to us and to everybody in the room. Before we leave, we'll give you the number for our assignment desk, which you can get. We'll also give you emails for our assignment desk. Type up just what you said with your contact information, when she's going to be out there, when there's an event, because it's TV, so we have to get some pictures, and let us know so we have a chance to put it on our calendar. It might not work out for the weekend that you think it should, but we can make it work on another weekend or another day. And I think you make a good point, because sometimes when we go to East New York, we do feel like we go out there and it's something bad. So it would be nice, and people tell us, to have some balance in the community. So, you know, the only portrait you see of the place you live is not a negative one.
Thank you so much.
Okay?